Hey everyone, this is Theo. In today's video, I'm going to answer a question that I get asked occasionally. The question is, how many active sketchbooks are you using? Now this is an interesting question. If you ask me this question 2 years ago, my answer would be different. In a few years time, my answer would be different as well. So I can probably make a video answering this question every year and show you all the different sketchbooks that I'm using, which I'm probably going to do. So today we are just going to look at these 5 current sketchbooks that I'm using. I'm going to start with the oldest sketchbook, the one that I have great difficulty filling up. This is the Strathmore 500 series mixed media journal that I started in 2016, in January of 2016. So it's now 3 years later and I've barely filled up half of it. And the reason for that is I don't like how the watercolor behaves on this paper. The watercolor, it doesn't blend much, it doesn't move that much after you set it down, after you paint it on the paper. Now some people have contacted me to tell me that that's not so, that watercolor actually behaves very well on this paper. They managed to get some smooth blending, but maybe it's this particular book, this particular sketchbook that I have that has this problem. Maybe it's got to do with this batch of sketchbook with this paper, or maybe this paper has expired. But I just don't like how the watercolor paint behaves on this paper. So that's why I have I'm quite reluctant to use this sketchbook, but I will try. Maybe in another 3 years time I may be able to fill up this sketchbook. The colors, they are not, I mean they are vibrant, but they are not as vibrant compared to using watercolor on actual watercolor paper. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here I have used wet on wet to try and blend the colors together, but it's not that effective. So here I have yellow and then I try to paint red over it to have the red blend into the yellow, but you can see this edge here. This is a feathered edge, but it doesn't blend that softly. This is a sharp edge. This is a feathered edge. What I'm looking for is very soft blends, and that's very difficult to achieve on this paper. So maybe it's just my sketchbook, maybe you have other experience. Let me know in the comment section below. If you're using this sketchbook for watercolor work, I would really love to hear what you have to say. The second sketchbook is this customized sketchbook that is made by the Society of Fiscal Disabled here in Singapore. I passed them some 100% cotton watercolor paper that's made by artists. This is hot press paper, and they bound it into this sketchbook. And this sketchbook was started in November 2018, and I have probably filled 25% of it. So my first impression of this paper, there seems to be some sizing issue with this batch of artist paper that I have. Sizing is basically how the paper is treated to handle watercolor. So when I painted watercolor on this paper, the paper seems to absorb the paint into the paper rather than have the paint remain on top of it. So I can see the paper show through, I can see the white of the paper, and it doesn't look that nice. When the paint is soaked into the paper, the color would appear to be more washed out. And that's why I don't use this sketchbook that often, because there's some issue with the paper. If the paint remains on the paper, the light would shine through the transparent watercolor, reflect off the paper, and reflect the color back to you, and the color would appear more vibrant. But if the paint is absorbed into the paper, the light will reflect off the paper, but there won't be any paint to have the light go through and back to your eyes. So that's basically how watercolor works. I think on some pages the sizing is a bit off, but on other pages the sizing looks fine. But it's difficult to see which are the pages with good sizing and which are the pages with lousy or poor quality sizing. So this page here looks fine, but this page here the sizing looks a bit off. So I still have a lot of pages to fill up. So sometimes it does happen, you buy good quality watercolor paper and there would be some unexplainable quality issues. This is another customized sketchbook also made by the Society of Physical Disabled. I actually have many sketchbooks made by them just to support them. Now for this particular sketchbook, I use this to paint color swatches of colors that I have used. But I soon realized that as I get more and more colors, I am sort of limited by the number of pages in this sketchbook. So I have since switched over to painting these swatches onto cut out watercolor paper like this so that I won't be limited by the number of pages. So for the remaining of this sketchbook, I may actually just draw on the pages or maybe just continue filling up the swatches. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Anyway, this paper, it's Lana Aquarelle. I believe it's a company from France, if I'm not wrong. The paper quality, by the way, it's excellent. This is another customized sketchbook made by the Society of Physical Disabled. This sketchbook is also filled with Lana Aquarelle watercolor paper, 100% cotton watercolor paper. So this sketchbook is for my urban sketches, for location sketching, and I started this sketchbook on the 27th of April 2019. So this is my first sketch. I still have many pages to go. I'll probably fill up this black one first before the purple one from earlier. Big thanks to whoever sent me the Lana Aquarelle watercolor paper. The last sketchbook that I have here is also this customized sketchbook. This paper is Indigo Art Papers. Now I use this sketchbook to draw, to create sketches for the tutorials that I make especially for my patrons, my supporters on Patreon. So here I paint some color swatches, I do some limited color palette sketches. Some of the limited color palette videos that you watch on my YouTube channel, they are actually from this sketchbook. And this Indigo Art Papers handmade watercolor paper, it handles watercolor pretty well. The colors are very vibrant on this paper. This is also 100% cotton paper. When you buy this paper on Amazon, the edges will be deckered, so it's like they are torn, but mine is a customized sketchbook, so they have cut the edges straight. And this paper has a lot of texture. So if you are someone who likes texture, this paper, the Indigo Art Papers, could be something you can get. On these two pages, I have painted some swatches and mixes for another video that I'm going to publish soon, which is on high tinting strength versus low tinting strength. Basically the intensity of the colors. Why are some paints more vibrant and why are some paints less vibrant? Here I have more mixes. This is on granulation. This is red paint that granulates, and here are the blue paints that granulate. So I tried to have the colors blend together. More swatches, and this is the latest sketch that I have drawn in June 2019. That's actually a few days ago. And I started this sketchbook in February 2019. Looking at this sketchbook actually makes me feel good because this is more than halfway filled. I can probably fill up this sketchbook pretty quickly because I make sketching videos for my patrons every month. Patreon, by the way, is a monthly subscription service where you can pledge a certain dollar amount to support the artists that you like. Your support allows me to make a huge variety of art-related videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're interested to support me, you can check out the Patreon link in the video description below. So these are my 5 sketchbooks. Hopefully next year when I answer this question again, I would have filled up this Strathmore sketchbook. As for these 4 sketchbooks, I really like them. I don't think I will have any problems filling them up. So how many active sketchbooks are you using? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Oh, by the way, if you are watching this video and happen to be in Singapore, consider supporting the Society of Fiscal Disabled by commissioning them to make a watercolor sketchbook for you using your own paper. I will give you the details in the video description below. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!